Doordash and Klarna have entered into a new partnership that's going to allow Doordash customers to put their food purchases on a payment plan. This is crazy. This is the definition of insanity.
Examines China's rise to cyber supremacy and the state-sponsored hackers haunting America's infrastructure. Joining us now, Nicole Perlroth, former cybersecurity reporter at the New York Times and the host of To Catch a Thief, China's Rise to Cyber Supremacy. She's also the author of This Is How They Tell Me the World Ends, an expose on the global cyber arms race. She served on the Department of Homeland Security's Cybersecurity Advisory Committee under President Biden. Nicole, great to have you with us.
Thank you so much.
Can't wait to listen to this podcast. Everybody has known for a long time that cyber has been active on the state-sponsored cyber front in terms of its armies of hackers, et cetera. How do you think the game has changed under a Trump administration?
So, a lot of what we covered is not new. It was about really connecting the dots. We know that China has ripped off IP. We know that a lot of the sort of bankruptcies you've seen among wind turbine makers, solar panel manufacturers, no one has really connected those dots back to Chinese IP theft. But that's how they started out, right? They were raiding our IP, and so much of it is tied back to these hacks. So we go through these stories on the podcast. The big pivot has been into our critical infrastructure. Mm-hmm. And it really picked up in 2020. Actually, when Trump started calling COVID the China virus, these hacks got very aggressive. And they've come for our water networks, they've come for our airports, they've come for our transportation systems, they've come for the grid, and they've come for pipelines. And the thinking is that they want to be there to pre-position in the event of some future conflict, perhaps over Taiwan.
Well, I'll be speaking to President Xi. I have a great relationship with him. We're going to have a very good relationship. But we have a $1 trillion deficit because of Biden with President Xi. More than that. I've heard $1.2 trillion. We have a deficit. And I've explained that to President Xi. We also have a problem where he's allowing fentanyl to be sent into Mexico and then cross the border and, killing. I think the number is much higher than the 125, 115. I think it's closer to 300,000 people a year. And so that's a problem. But they have a tremendous surplus against the United States, and we don't want that.
A number of industries have come to you asking for exemptions on tariffs. Is that something that is under consideration by you?
Well, people are coming to me and talking about tariffs, and a lot of people are asking me if they could have exceptions. And once you do that for one, you have to do that for all. So, generally, I did something interestingly during 2 weeks ago. I gave the American car companies a break because it would have been unfair if I didn't. And everybody said, oh, he changed his mind on tariffs. I didn't change my mind. I helped our, sort of big three, big four. I helped some of the American companies. And instead of taking it properly, they said, oh, he changed it. I don't change. But the word flexibility is an important word. Sometimes there's flexibility. So there'll be flexibility. But basically, it's reciprocal. So that if China is charging us 50% or 30% or 20%, and I don't mean China, I mean anybody, any country, Canada. Nobody knows that Canada is charging our dairy farmers. They have 270% tariffs. Nobody knows that. Nobody knows that. They have up to 400%. They have a couple of tariffs at 400%. Nobody knows that. Nobody talks about that. And remember, with Canada, we don't need their cars. We don't need their lumber. We don't need their energy. We don't need anything from Canada. And yet it costs us $200 billion a year in subsidy to keep Canada afloat. So when I say they should be a state, I mean that. I really mean that.
Welcome to the Cryptoteacher. And I come back with that video just to make you think.
Don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel.
And make sure you join the Patrons. If you're not a part of the Patrons, make sure you're hitting the Cash App. And also, guys, make sure you go like and follow the TikTok. More videos to come. And you can't make this stuff up. When I tell you can't make this stuff up, you can't make it up. We have Doordash and Klarna teaming up to finance your dinner. Eat now, pay later. And this is just a setup for universal basic income and that free money being sent to those wallets, the stablecoins, the programmable stablecoins, telling you what, where, and when and how to buy, and you have 3 to 6 months to spend them or poof, it's gone. And we know it doesn't start off like that. They'll dangle that carrot, get you in so you're relying on that money, and they can dictate later what you actually purchase. But we know the lower income families are going to eat this up. And that's literally. Guys, this is unbelievable. Now we have China's cyber arm race setting up for the conflict with Taiwan. And even though it's nice and quiet now, we know U.S. versus China, that conflict is eventually going to happen. And what did she say? Hacking the water supply, airports, transportation, the grid, the pipelines. But you guys know how I feel about hacks. And remember, the crypto teacher told you. And we have Trump says he has a great relationship with Xi, and these tariffs on April 2nd may be flexible. And we also knew he was going to come with that. Remember, these tariffs are definitely coming, but they're going to be timed with the Fed rate cuts and then also the machines making their way into the economy. 60 to 70% of this economy is going to be ran by the machines and not a human involved. And like Jerome Powell stated, a lot of people are going to be left behind. And we have Luckner say he has sold 1,000 of those gold cards, $5 million each, to become a U.S. citizen. And it's like Trump's whole administration is doing nothing but selling, and they're getting the benefit. And remember, the crypto teacher told you. And we have the SEC Crypto Roundtable today, and that means that we're going to get clarity, and then we also know regulation is definitely coming. These stable coins are going to be first, and a lot of these utility cryptos are already being used by the big corporations and big banks. And remember, the crypto teacher told you. And we have Starlink gets green light in India, teaming up with 2 of the largest cell phone companies. And this satellite agenda is global, not just for the United States, global. They don't want humanity on these grids or towers. They want the machines to use it. And you're talking about India with over 2 billion people. And because of the cell phone, a lot of the poverty in the emerging markets, they're going to rise to the middle class. So it's very important for you to get back to the creator. So therefore, you can start creating. These big banks and big corporations are not targeting the emerging markets for any reason. They know it's going to be a lot of money to be made. So what do I teach you? Follow the money. And remember, the crypto teacher told you. Because he knows when it comes to the NWO, it's all planned out. You have a wonderful day.
By the way, yesterday I sold 1,000. They pay $5 million, and they have the right to be an American. They have the right to be an American. As long as they're good residency. Yeah. As long as they're good people.
And they're vetted.
And they can't break the law. We can always take it away if they're like evil or mean or bad or something. Not mean, but if they do something horrible, you can take it away.
Course is hosting, and today's is about defining the security status of crypto assets. This issue is at the heart of the industry's problem with the former administration's SEC. It targeted many companies for their involvement with crypto, alleging most coins were unregistered securities, but failing to give clear guidelines to follow to avoid being targeted. This could be most interesting for Ether ETFs. The SEC already said last month meme coins are not securities. The appetite for ETH ETFs, that's been tepid compared to Bitcoin ETFs. And one of the big reasons is the inability to earn a staking yield on those funds. Many see staking as a next step in crypto ETFs if the SEC can iron out some of the uncertainties about those services being potential unregistered securities. Otherwise, like I said about the meme coins, the SEC has sent several highly positive signals, and investors are seeking reassurance, I think, that they will remain supportive, hoping maybe that this event will be sort of a no news is good news event.
Starlink's reach expanding its internet service, getting the green light in India. But its success lies in the hands of 2 billionaires. And Seema Modi has that detail in Tech Check. Hi, Seema.
Kelly, that's what sets this deal apart. Elon Musk's Starlink partnering with
India's two biggest telecom companies, Reliance's Jio and Bharti Airtel, that are run by powerful billionaires Mukesh Ambani and Sunil Mittal to set up these low-orbit satellites across the country. Now, both Ambani and Mittal are highly respected leaders who could potentially help Musk navigate hurdles in a country that, let's be honest, has not been easy to penetrate. Just ask Walmart, Apple, and Amazon, among other multinationals that have faced their own set of issues. This deal with Starlink follows a meeting that Musk had with India's Prime Minister Narendra Modi in Washington last month. We're told Starlink was one of the key topics discussed. It also comes as India has been requesting an exemption from President Trump's April 2nd reciprocal tariffs that would challenge its economy. Now, back to Starlink's success. Analysts at Counterpoint Research say the cost of Starlink could limit the satellite company's ability to scale in what is becoming an increasingly price-sensitive market. Its service currently costs around $110 per month for users in the U.S., but get this, India's cheapest Wi-Fi package costs less than that in 1 year. That's where Musk's new billionaire partners could provide much-needed guidance. But the opportunity for Musk is big. India is still the world's most populous nation with a young, mobile-savvy customer. And Ambani's Jio, which is the big telecom provider there, Kelly, they've got nearly 500 million subscribers on the ground. You compare that to Verizon, which has 150 million here in the U.S.
So this expansion, is it a done deal?
Not a done deal. Starlink still needs to get final authorization. So still some regulatory hurdles that the company needs to get through. But right now, what we understand is it got the green light. And not only is it being allowed to get into the country, but they're partnering with two of the biggest companies on the ground, which does increase the likelihood of its success. So we're watching this one.
Going to a different economy. And we're going to be learning more about that as we go. But clearly, we're learning that things can be done from remote locations. We're learning that technology can replace people even more than we thought.
We're not going back to the same economy. We're recovering, but to a different economy, and it'll be one that is more leveraged to technology. And I worry that that is going to make it even more difficult than it was for many workers.
In Silicon Valley, and my friends who work in technology know that what we did to the manufacturing workers, we are now going to do to the retail workers, the call center workers, the fast food workers, the truck drivers, and then even bookkeepers, accountants, insurance agents, lawyers, and on through the economy. So what happened to the manufacturing workers is a very clear sign.
And so we'll import Chinese-based CBDC technology. So it's going to be CBDC in a box provided to you by the People's Bank of China.
But every stock, every bond, every currency, every commodity, every piece of art, every private business, every piece of real estate will eventually be a token on a blockchain, an entry on a ledger, permanent and immutable. We will have truth instead of trust, and we will save over $7 trillion a year. 6 to 8% of global GDP is wasted by the friction of the trust industry that's necessary when you have dual entry accounting. With triple entry accounting, which is what a blockchain is, we get rid of all of that friction. It's a beautiful future.
Like what you see in China and their social credit scoring systems, right? If we get identity wrong, it could be a tool to enslave humanity. And if we get it right, it could be a tool to liberate humanity. And as an American, I'm obviously rooting for the one that's on the side of freedom.
Bitcoin is an international asset. And also, I do believe the role of crypto is it's digitizing gold.
I actually believe this technology is going to be very important. Look at it. We have been part of a huge revolution in investing through ETFs. We believe that ETFs will be changing the whole way we invest. Many people still use it as a means, people are investing it for indexing. No, the majority of people who are putting money in in ETFs are active investors that are buying exposure. The entire bond market is being transformed as we talk right now. I believe the next generation for markets, the next generation for securities will be tokenization of securities. And if we could have that distributed ledger that we know every beneficial owner, every beneficial seller, we all have our code of who's buying, who's selling, instantaneous settlement. And think about it, it changes the whole ecosystem.
Chinese bank ICBC has been hit by a ransomware attack, and the U.S. Treasury market, as a result of that, has been disrupted. This, according to the Financial Times. We're going to get more right now with Bloomberg's Shonali Bassick. Shonali, what do we know?
Listen, we have the Financial Times now reporting that ICBC, one of China's largest banks here, was hit with a ransomware attack. And remember, they're a very significant intermediary in the Treasury market. The SIFMA has told its members that this has been part of the reason here that the system is kind of clogged up, if you will, during that auction that we saw a little bit before. The attack had prevented ICBC, according to the Financial Times, from settling Treasury trades on behalf of other market participants. A large executive at a major bank also telling the paper that such a large party on the fixed income clearing corp creates major concerns, potentially impacting the liquidity of Treasury markets. Now,
it was not just a poor auction. It was absolutely lousy, and you know, when the dealers have to step in to save a Treasury auction, that's a rare occurrence. And
Cryptoteacher and the new World Order book, plus the 3 kids books, is time to re-educate. Also, if new to cryptos, Coinbase, Bitrue, Binance, do not forget book links and crypto links are in the description. The stock channel, guys. Don't forget to go like, subscribe, spread everywhere. You have your Kobo, your chip stocks, your banking, your gaming. While everybody's sitting at home, get home stocks, the Seaver, the biotech stocks. And while everybody's at home wishing, they were still getting that free money. What are they doing? Drinking and smoking weed. Don't forget about those stocks, and you have a wonderful day. The most powerful person in the world is the storyteller. The storyteller sets the vision, values, and agenda of an entire generation to come. Steve Jobs. And guys, you know I truly believe in this. When you look at the New World Order, they're the storytellers. And that's the reason why I wrote my New World Order book. But guys, now it's time to change the current generation. And I wrote 3 kids books. You know I love the Trinity because I understand the power that's in it. So I have 3 books. We have an opportunity to change the generation, to educate, not just me, but I want to show you that I take action on a daily basis. And I want you to take action on a daily basis. Whether it's your job, whether it's in your community, we have an opportunity right now to educate the masses. I posted this on my Twitter account. Please share, but this is a short clip of the 3 books. There's going to be a clothing line and action figures. Please get these books for your kids, nephews, cousins, friends, so therefore we can start the re-education now. Because as we see, the 4th Industrial Revolution foundation is definitely here. Robots, algorithms, drones, taking humanity out the picture. We have to re-educate. But let's get into the video.
Part 1. King Joshua and Grandma Tam save the village. Part 2. King Joshua and Grandma Tam save New York. COVID Stories 3. Part 3. King Joshua and Grandma Tam goes to China.
It's mandatory to get part 1, part 2, and part 3 of this series. It's time to re-educate Generation Z.